Welcome to my channel. Have you ever felt stuck with English grammar? Maybe you try to speak or write, but something doesn't sound right. You might wonder, why do some words change, but others don't? Or how can a tiny word like a or the change the whole meaning of a sentence? Believe me, you're not alone. English grammar can feel confusing, and sometimes it seems like there are too many rules to remember. But what if I told you there are easy tricks, simple shortcuts, that can help you understand and use grammar correctly without stress? Today, I'm going to share with you some of the most useful grammar tricks every beginner must know. These aren't complicated rules that you'll forget quickly. These are practical, easy to remember tips that you can start using right now. Imagine being able to speak or write a sentence and knowing it's correct. Imagine feeling confident because you understand how the words work together. That's exactly what these grammar tricks will do for you. And here's the best part. You don't need to study for hours every day or read thick grammar books. I'll explain everything in a simple, clear way, just like I do with my students, so you can learn easily and enjoy the process. I'll show you how small changes in a sentence can make big differences, and how you can avoid common mistakes that many learners make. So, stay with me until the end of this video because these grammar tricks will change the way you speak and write forever. If you want your English to be clear, simple, and correct, this video is for you. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Magic of Simple Sentences, the foundation you can build on. Let's start with something very simple but very important. Simple sentences. Why? Because simple sentences are the magic key that unlocks all English grammar. When you understand how to make and change simple sentences, you can say almost anything you want in English. And that's the secret to sounding confident and clear. A simple sentence usually has three parts: the subject, the verb, and the object. What does that mean? The subject is the person or thing doing the action. The verb is the action or state. And the object is the person or thing receiving the action. For example, take this sentence, I eat apples. Here, I is the subject. It's who we're talking about. Eat is the verb, the action. And apples is the object, what the action is happening to. Now, this sentence is very simple, but it tells us a complete idea. You know who is doing something, what they are doing, and what it is happening to. That's all you need to start speaking English. But wait, there's more magic. What if you want to say you don't eat apples? You don't need to learn a whole new sentence. You just add one small word, not. The sentence becomes, I do not eat apples. This is called a negative sentence. Not changes the meaning completely. Now you are saying the opposite. And look, we added a helper verb, do, before not. This is very important and a trick many beginners forget. When making negatives in the present simple tense, you need to use do or does with not. For example, he does not eat apples. The subject changes, so does the helper verb. What about questions? How do you ask, do I eat apples? This is easy too. You just move the helper verb, do, to the beginning of the sentence. So, I eat apples becomes, do I eat apples? Questions like this are called yes/no questions because the answer is usually yes or no. This small change, moving do to the front, turns a statement into a question. It's like magic, right? Let's try another example together. The simple sentence is, she likes music. What happens if you want to say she doesn't like music? You say, she does not like music. Notice again, does changes because the subject is she. Now, to ask a question, you say, does she like music? The verb changes to after does, and does moves to the start for questions. Understanding these small but powerful changes will help you speak and write better. You don't need to memorize many rules. Just remember the simple pattern. Statements use subject plus verb plus object. Negatives add do/does not. And questions move do/does to the front. Now, what about questions that start with question words like what, where, or why? For example, what do you eat? Or where does she live? These questions use the same helper verbs do and does, but they start with a question word instead of just do. This means you can ask more specific questions, not only yes/no ones. The structure is question word plus do/does plus subject plus verb. Here's a fun trick for you. Try changing a simple sentence into a negative or a question yourself. Take this sentence, he plays football. Now, make it negative. He does not play football. Good. Now, make it a question. Does he play football? See how easy that is. Practicing this will help your brain get used to the patterns, and soon it will feel natural. Why is all of this important? Because simple sentences are the foundation. If you try to learn complicated sentences without this foundation, you will feel confused and make mistakes. But if you master simple sentences first, you will build your English step by step, like building a house brick by brick. Another important point is that simple sentences help you avoid confusion. Sometimes learners make very long sentences with many parts, and it becomes hard to understand. But if you speak clearly with simple sentences, people will understand you better. For example, instead of saying, I yesterday to the store went for buying apples, it's better to say, I went to the store yesterday. I bought apples. Simple and clear. To sum up this chapter, remember these key points. A simple sentence has a subject, verb, and sometimes an object. You can make negatives by adding do not or does not. You can ask yes/no questions by moving do or does to the front. Use question words like what or where with do or does to ask more specific questions. Practice changing sentences from statements to negatives and questions. Simple sentences are the foundation for clear, confident English. If you keep practicing these tricks, your grammar will improve quickly and you will feel less scared of English. Remember, grammar is not a monster. It's a tool that helps you communicate clearly and confidently. Now, before we move to the next chapter, I want you to try a quick exercise. Take this sentence, they watch TV. Can you change it into a negative sentence? Can you change it into a question? Write your answers in the comments below, and I will help you if you need. Learning is more fun when we practice together. In the next chapter, we will learn about verb tenses, how to talk about the past, present, and future easily. But for now, practice these simple sentences and tricks. They are the foundation of all English grammar, and once you know them, you will be ready for everything else. Chapter 2. Mastering Verb Tenses. When to use I eat, I ate, and I will eat. Welcome back. Now that you know how to build simple sentences, it's time to learn something very important, verb tenses. You probably hear people say things like I eat, I ate, or I will eat, and wonder, what's the difference? When do I use each one? Don't worry, because today we will make these tenses easy to understand and use. First, let's talk about time. In English, we use verb tenses to show when something happens, in the present, the past, or the future. Each tense helps us tell a story clearly, so that listeners know exactly when something happens. And guess what? You don't need to learn all tenses at once. The most important ones for beginners are three: the present simple, the past simple, and the future simple. Let's explore each one step by step. The first tense is the present simple. We use it to talk about things that happen regularly, facts, or things that are true now. For example, I eat breakfast every day. Here, eat is in the present simple tense. It shows a daily habit, something you do often. You can also say, she works at a school, or they live in a big city. These sentences tell us about regular or permanent situations. Here's a trick to remember the present simple. When talking about you, I, we, or they use the base form of the verb, like eat, work, or live. But with he, she, or it, add an s at the end: eats, works, lives. So, he eats apples, but I eat apples. Easy, right? Now, let's move to the past simple tense. We use this to talk about actions or events that happened before now, things that are finished. For example, I ate breakfast this morning. The action is complete. It happened in the past. How do we know a verb is in the past simple? Many regular verbs add ed at the end: worked, lived, played. But be careful. Some verbs are irregular. They don't follow this rule. For example, eat becomes ate, go becomes went, and see becomes saw. Don't worry if this feels hard at first. Just focus on the most common verbs, and with time, the rest will come naturally. Here's a fun trick to remember past simple. When you see or hear a verb with ed at the end, it usually means it happened in the past. For example, walked, talked, cleaned. And for irregular verbs, just try to remember a few common ones step by step. The third tense is the future simple. This tense is used to talk about things that will happen later, tomorrow, next week, or any time after now. For example, I will eat breakfast tomorrow. The verb will helps us talk about the future. The structure is easy. Just use will plus the base verb. For example, she will go to the market, or they will play soccer. No changes or endings on the verb itself. Just add will before it. Now, here's a little story to show why using the right tense is so important. Imagine you're talking to a friend about your day. You want to say, I ate breakfast, but instead, you say, I eat breakfast, when you mean yesterday morning. Your friend might think you're talking about today or every day, and this can cause confusion. Or imagine you say, I will eat lunch, mixing future and past. It sounds funny and incorrect, right? Using the correct tense helps your listener understand your message clearly and avoids mistakes that can make conversations confusing or even funny. Another trick to feel comfortable with tenses is to think about time words. For example, if you hear yesterday, last week, or in 2010, these are clues that you need to use the past tense. If you hear now, always, or every day, it usually means present tense. And if you hear tomorrow, next year, or soon, that means future tense. These little words help you pick the right tense every time. Let's practice together. Here is a simple sentence in the present. I eat rice. How do you say it if you did this yesterday? I ate rice. How about if you want to say you will do it tomorrow? I will eat rice. See how changing just one word changes the meaning completely? This is the power of verb tenses. Here is another example. She plays the guitar. Now, the past, she played the guitar. And the future, She will play the guitar. Practice these with your own examples. Think about what you do every day, what you did yesterday, and what you will do tomorrow. This will make you feel more confident and ready to speak naturally. Remember, mistakes are part of learning. Don't worry if you mix tenses sometimes. It happens to everyone. The important thing is to practice and pay attention to the time words and sentence structure. Over time, your brain will get used to choosing the right tense without thinking too much. In this chapter, you've learned that verb tenses tell us when something happens: present, past, or future. You've learned the basic tricks. Present uses the base verb or adds s for he, she, slash it. Past often adds ed or changes for irregular verbs, and future uses will plus the base verb. You've also seen why using the correct tense is important for clear communication. Before we finish, here's a small challenge for you. Write 3 sentences about yourself. 1 in the present, 1 in the past, and 1 in the future. For example, I study English. I studied English yesterday, and I will study English tomorrow. Write your sentences in the comments below. I would love to see your practice. In the next chapter, we will learn about articles, those small words, a, an, and the, and how to use them like a pro. But for now, practice these verb tenses, and soon you will feel more confident talking about time in English. Chapter 3. Tricks with articles. When to use a, an, and the like a pro. Welcome back. So far, we have learned how to make simple sentences and how to use verb tenses. Now, we come to a part of English that many learners find tricky but is very important: articles. You might have heard words like a, an, and the, and wondered, when do I use each one? Why are they so small but so confusing? Don't worry. Today, I will share some easy and fun tricks to help you use articles like a pro. First, what are articles? Articles are small words we use before nouns, the names of people, places, or things. They help us say if we are talking about something for the first time, something specific, or something general. The 3 main articles are a, an, and the. Each one has a special job. Let's start with a and an. These 2 articles are called indefinite articles. We use them when we talk about something for the first time or something general, something not specific. For example, if I say, I see a dog, it means any dog, not a particular dog you know. Maybe you have never seen this dog before. It is just one dog among many dogs. Now, how do you know when to use a and when to use an? This is a common question. Here is a simple trick. Use a before words that start with a consonant sound, and use and before words that start with a vowel sound. Vowels are the letters a, e, I, o, and u. For example, a dog, a car, a book, but an apple, an elephant, an idea. The key is the sound, not just the letter. For example, an hour, because the H is silent, so the word starts with a vowel sound. This small trick helps you remember when to use a and incorrectly. Next, let's talk about the. This article is different because it is called the definite article. We use the when we talk about something specific or something that both the speaker and listener know about. For example, if I say, the dog is sleeping, I mean a particular dog that you already know or that we have already talked about. Here's a trick to understand the if you can point to the thing or if it is already clear which thing you mean, use the. For example, the sun. There is only one sun, so we use the. Or the teacher, when both people know which teacher they mean. Let's use some simple examples together to make this clear. Imagine you walk into a room and see a dog for the first time. You say, "I see a dog." Later, if the dog comes closer, you can say, "The dog is friendly." Now, you are talking about a specific dog, the one in the room with you. Another example is food. You might say, "I want an apple," when you don't mean a special apple, just any apple. But if someone points to an apple on the table, you say, "Give me the apple." Here, the apple is a particular apple that both of you know. To help you remember these rules, here is a simple summary. Use a before words starting with a consonant sound when you talk about something for the first time or something general. Use an before words starting with a vowel sound when you talk about something for the first time or something general. Use the when you talk about something specific, something you already know, or something unique. Now, I want to make this fun and practical for you. I will give you some short sentences, and you try to guess which article fits best. Ready? 1. I have underscore 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 cat. 2. She wants underscore 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 orange. 3. Underscore 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 moon is very bright tonight. 4. They bought underscore 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 new car. 5. Can I have underscore 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 egg, please? 6. Underscore 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 teacher is very kind. Take a moment to think about these. The answers are 1. A cat. Cat starts with a consonant sound, and this is the first time we mention the cat. 2. An orange. Orange starts with a vowel sound. 3. The moon. The moon is unique and specific. 4. A new car. First time mentioning the car. New starts with N, a consonant sound. 5. An egg. Egg starts with a vowel sound. 6. The teacher. A specific teacher known to both speaker and listener. Did you get most of them right? If not, don't worry. This takes practice. Try to use these articles when you speak or write in English, and soon you will use them without thinking. Here is another tip. When you talk about jobs or roles, use a or an. For example, she is a doctor. He is an engineer. But when you talk about something unique or specific, use the. For example, the doctor is here, meaning a particular doctor you both know. Also, remember that we don't use a or an with plural nouns or uncountable nouns. For example, I like dogs, not a dogs, or I drink water, not a water. But you can use the with plural nouns if you talk about specific things. For example, the dogs in the park are friendly. To finish this chapter, let's look at one more example to show how important articles are. Imagine you say, "I saw a bird." Your listener thinks, "Okay, any bird." But if you say, "I saw the bird," your listener thinks, "Which bird? I know that bird." That little word that changes the whole meaning. In conclusion, articles may be small, but they have a big job in English. When you use a and an, you are talking about something new or general. When you use the, you are talking about something specific or known. Remember the tricks: a before consonant sounds and before vowel sounds, and the for specific things. Practice these tricks every day. Try to use articles when you speak or write, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Articles are a small part of grammar, but mastering them will make your English much clearer and easier to understand. If you want, write sentences using a, an, and the in the comments below, and I will help you improve. Also, don't forget to like this video if it helped you and subscribe to the channel to learn more simple and powerful English tricks. In the next chapter, we will discover how to make your sentences more exciting by using adjectives, words that describe things. But before that, keep practicing these article tricks, and you will see big improvements in your English. Chapter 4. Prepositions made simple. Why in, on, and at are your best friends. Welcome back. So far, we have learned about simple sentences, verb tenses, and articles. Now, it's time for another important part of English grammar, prepositions. Prepositions are small words, but they are very powerful because they tell us about place and time. The three most common and useful prepositions are in, on, and at. I know many learners feel confused about these words. When do you say in the box or on the table? Is it at 5 o'clock or in 5 o'clock? Don't worry. Today, I will make these prepositions easy and fun to understand. First, what is a preposition? A preposition is a word that shows the relationship between a noun, a person, place, or thing, and another part of the sentence. Most often, prepositions tell us about where something is or when something happens. The key to using prepositions correctly is to remember simple patterns, so they feel natural, not like random words to memorize. Let's start with place prepositions, in, on, and at. Imagine a small box and different objects inside, on top, or near the box. The preposition in means inside something. For example, the ball is in the box. The ball is inside, surrounded by the box. We use in for enclosed spaces or areas where something is inside borders. You can say, I am in the room. She lives in New York, or the keys are in my bag. The trick to remember in is think inside. Something is surrounded or inside something else. Next is on. We use on when something is touching a surface or placed on top of something. For example, the book is on the table. The book is not inside the table, but resting on its surface. You also say, the picture is on the wall, or I put my phone on the desk. The trick to remember on is think on top of a surface. Then there is at. This preposition is a little different. We use at to talk about a specific point or exact place. For example, I am at the door, or she is at the bus stop. At points to a particular spot, not inside or on something. You can think of at as a point, a very specific location. To make it even clearer, imagine a house. You are in the house, inside the house. You are on the roof, on top of the house. You are at the front door, a specific point outside the house. This picture helps you remember these small words because they make sense when you imagine where things are. Now, let's talk about prepositions of time, in, on, and at again, but this time for when something happens. We use in for longer periods of time, like months, years, centuries, or parts of the day. For example, I was born in July. She will visit in 2023, or we work in the morning. Think of in for general time periods. Use on for specific days and dates. For example, my birthday is on Monday. The meeting is on April 5th, or we have a holiday on Christmas Day. On is for specific days. Use at for exact times. For example, the train arrives at 5 o'clock. We eat dinner at 7 p.m., or the class starts at noon. At is for a precise time. Here's a quick way to remember time prepositions. In for longer times, months, years, parts of the day, on for days and dates, at for exact times. To help you practice, here's a fun challenge. Imagine you are walking into a room, and I describe where objects are. You try to guess the correct preposition to complete each sentence. Ready? 1. The keys are underscore 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 the drawer. 2. The picture is underscore 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 the wall. 3. I will meet you underscore 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 3 p.m. 4. We celebrate Christmas underscore 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 December. 5. The cat is sleeping underscore 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 the box. 6. The phone is ringing underscore 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 the table. 7. The bus stops underscore 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 the corner. 8. She was born underscore 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 1995. 9. The meeting is underscore 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 Monday. 10. The kids play underscore 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 the park. Think about each sentence and what preposition fits best. The answers are in the drawer, inside, on the wall, on the surface, at 3 p.m., exact time, in December, month, in the box, inside, on the table, on the surface, at the corner, specific point, in 1995, year, on Monday day, in the park, area, or place. Did you get them all right? If not, don't worry. This will get easier with practice. Here's one more trick to remember. When you talk about transportation, you usually say on, for example, on the bus, on the train, or on the plane. But for smaller vehicles like a bike or a car, you say in the car, in the taxi. These little details help make your English sound natural. Remember, prepositions are small, but they help you paint a clear picture when you speak or write. They tell your listener or reader exactly where and when things happen. Without them, your sentences can sound confusing or incomplete. The key to mastering prepositions is to think about the relationship between objects or times. Ask yourself, is something inside? Then use in. Is it on a surface? Use on. Is it a point or specific place? Use at. And for time, use the same ideas, but remember if it's a general time, day, or exact moment. Before we finish, here's a quick exercise for you. Look around your room and describe where 3 objects are using in, on, or at. For example, my phone is on the desk. My books are in the bag. I am at the window. Write your sentences in the comments below. I would love to see your practice. In the next chapter, we will make your English more colorful and interesting by learning about adjectives, words that describe things. But for now, keep practicing these prepositions, and you will feel much more confident talking about places and times in English. Don't forget to like this video if you find it helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more simple English tricks that will make learning easy and fun. Also, leave a comment below with your own examples of in, on, and at. I will read and reply to as many as I can. Chapter 5. The Power of Questions. How to ask anything with just a few words. Welcome back, friends. Up to now, we have built a strong foundation. Simple sentences, verb tenses, articles, and prepositions. But there's one special skill that can open so many doors in English: asking questions. Questions are the key to learning, making friends, and understanding the world. Without questions, conversation feels one-sided and boring. Today, I'm going to teach you how to ask anything with just a few words. Trust me, once you master this, you will feel more confident and ready to talk to anyone. Let's begin with the most important question words in English: what, where, when, who, why, and how. These 6 words help us ask about everything: things, places, times, people, reasons, and ways. Each word has a special job, and once you know what that is, forming questions becomes much easier. First, what is used to ask about things or information. For example, what is this? Or what do you want? Think of what as your magic word to learn about objects, actions, or ideas. Next, where asks about a place or location. For example, where is the bus stop? Or where do you live? Use where whenever you want to know the place of something. Then comes when, which asks about time. For example, when is your birthday? Or when does the movie start? If you want to know the time or date, when is your friend? Who asks about people? For example, who is your teacher? Or who called me? Use who to find out the person's identity. Why asks about the reason or cause. For example, why are you late? Or why is the sky blue? Why helps you understand reasons behind actions or events. Finally, how asks about the way or method. For example, how do you cook rice? Or how are you? How can ask about feelings, methods, or condition. Now, how do you make a question with these words? Here's an easy trick. Start the question with one of these words, then follow with the verb and subject. For example, what plus is plus this? What is this? Where plus do plus you plus live? Where do you live? When plus does plus the train plus arrive? When does the train arrive? Who plus is plus that man? Who is that man? Why plus or plus you plus sad? Why are you sad? How plus do plus you plus say this? How do you say this? Notice the word order. Question word plus auxiliary verb. Do slash does slash is slash are plus subject plus main verb. This is the pattern for many questions in English. Let me explain a little more about the helper verbs do and does. We use do with I, you, we, they, and does with he, she, it. For example, where do you live? Where does he live? Now you might wonder, how do I answer these questions? The answer is simple. Just give a short, clear response. For example, question, what is your name? Answer, my name is Maria. Question, where do you work? Answer, I work at a school. Question, when is your birthday? Answer, my birthday is in June. Question, who is your best friend? Answer, my best friend is John. Question, why are you tired? Answer, because I didn't sleep well. Question, how do you make tea? Answer, I boil water and put tea leaves in it. Simple answers like these are enough to keep a conversation going. To keep our energy high, let's play a quick question quiz. I will say a question, and you try to answer quickly in your mind or out loud. Ready? What do you eat for breakfast? Where do you live? When do you wake up? Who is your favorite singer? Why do you learn English? How do you get to school or work? If you answered quickly, great job. This kind of practice helps your brain think in English and get used to forming questions and answers fast. Here's a little secret. Questions make people happy because they show you are interested in them. When you ask questions, you open the door to new conversations and friendships. So don't be afraid to ask. Start with these simple question words and build your skills step by step. Also, questions don't always have to start with question words. Sometimes, you can make yes/no questions by just changing the word order. For example, the statement, you like coffee, becomes the question, do you like coffee? Just add do or does before the subject to make a yes/no question. This is very useful when you want a short answer, yes or no. Let me give you some examples of yes/no questions. Do you speak English? Does she live here? Are you ready? Is he your brother? The answer to yes/no questions can be yes or no, which is easy to remember. Before we finish, here's a quick tip. Always listen carefully to questions when you speak or watch English. Questions are everywhere, in movies, conversations, and lessons. The more you hear and practice, the better you will get at asking and answering them naturally. To practice today, try to ask someone 3 questions using what, where, or when. Or if you don't have someone to ask, write the questions and answers in the comments below. I will check them and help you improve. In the next chapter, we will learn how to make your English more exciting and descriptive by using adjectives. But for now, keep practicing your questions. Remember, asking questions is a superpower in any language. And with these easy tricks, you can ask anything and keep any conversation alive. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more easy and helpful English tips. Don't forget to share your questions and answers in the comments. I love reading them and helping you. Chapter 6: Common Mistakes and How to Fix Them. Your shortcut to sounding like a pro. Welcome to the final chapter. You've come a long way learning about sentences, tenses, articles, prepositions, and questions. Now, it's time to talk about something very important: the common mistakes that every English learner makes, and how to fix them quickly. Don't worry, making mistakes is part of learning, but knowing the most common ones helps you avoid them and sound like a pro faster. Today, I will share easy memory tricks and corrections that will boost your confidence. Plus, we'll play a fun mini-game. So get ready to find and fix mistakes. Let's start with one of the biggest sources of confusion: he and she. These 2 words are pronouns, and they replace people's names. He is for boys or men, and she is for girls or women. Sometimes beginners mix them up, especially when they listen quickly. Here's a simple trick. If you think of he, remember him with an H, and for she, think of her with an SH sound. When talking about a man or boy, say he and him. When talking about a woman or girl, say she and her. For example, he is my brother. She is my sister. I gave him a book. I called her yesterday. Practice this by thinking of people you know and using he or she correctly. Next, one of the most common confusions in English is the trio there, and there. They sound the same, but have very different meanings and uses. There shows a place or existence. Example: the book is over there. Think there as a place word. There is a possessive word, showing something belongs to people. Example: that is their house. Remember, there has air inside it, something that belongs to someone. There is a short form for they are. Example: they're happy. The apostrophe means a letter is missing. Here's a quick trick to remember. If you can say they are, use there. If you talk about a place, use there. If you talk about something someone owns, use there. Let's practice with examples. Which word fits? Underscore, 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 going to the park. The kids left their toys over underscore, 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 underscore. Score car is very fast. Answers: there, they are. Their place. There belongs to them. Easy, right? Keep practicing this, and you will never mix these again. Now, let's talk about a mistake that many beginners make with verbs: subject-verb agreement. This means the verb must match the subject in number, singular or plural. For example, he runs fast. He is singular, so the verb ends with s. They run fast. They is plural, so no s on the verb. Beginners sometimes say he run or they runs, which sounds wrong. The trick is to remember, with he, she, it, the verb usually ends with s or yes in the present tense. With I, you, we, they, the verb does not have s. For example, she likes ice cream. I like ice cream. If you're not sure, try saying the sentence aloud and listen if it sounds right. Another common mistake is confusing your and your. They sound the same but mean different things. Your shows possession, something belongs to you. Example, is this your book? Your means you are. Example, you're my friend. Try this. If you can say you are, use your. If not, use your. Example, you're welcome. You are welcome. Is this your phone? Moving on, many learners have trouble with the difference between to, and to. To is a preposition or part of an infinitive verb. Example, I go to school, or I want to eat. To means also or very. Example, I want to go too, or it's too hot. Two is the number 2. Example, I have 2 cats. Try to remember this by thinking of to with double O as also or very. To has the number 2 inside the word. Now, let's do a mini game to practice all these common mistakes. I will give you sentences with mistakes. Your job is to find the mistake and fix it. Write your answers in the comments or say them out loud. She go to school every day. Their house is big. I like your idea. He run very fast. The books are on their table. I have 2 dogs. Where is your going? Take a moment and think. What is wrong? And how do you fix each sentence? Here are the answers. She goes to school every day. Add yes for he, she, slash it. Their house is big. Their shows possession. I like your idea. Your possession, not your. He runs very fast. Add s for he. The books are on their table. Their possession, I have 2 dogs. Number 2, not 2. Where are you going? Correct question form with are you. Well done if you got most right. This kind of practice helps you spot mistakes and fix them quickly. Before we finish, here are some final tips to help you avoid mistakes. Don't rush. Speak slowly to give your brain time to think. Read simple English texts often. Seeing correct grammar helps you remember rules. Write short sentences and check your work carefully. Listen to native speakers and try to copy how they speak. Practice with friends or teachers, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Remember, mistakes are not failures. They are steps toward success. Every time you correct a mistake, you get better and closer to speaking English like a pro. Thank you for staying with me through all 6 chapters. You now have powerful tools and tricks to build your English with confidence. If you enjoyed this series, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your favorite grammar tip in the comments below. I love reading your stories and helping you learn. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I will see you in the next video. If you found these grammar tricks helpful, please subscribe to my channel for more simple and easy English lessons every week. By subscribing, you won't miss any new tips that can make learning English easier and more fun. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like this video. It really helps me know what you enjoy and what helps you most. Also, please comment below with your favorite grammar trick from this series or any questions you have about English. I read every comment, and I'm here to help you every step of the way on your English learning journey. Together, we will make your English clear, confident, and strong. So, join our community and keep learning with me.